When did you notice the mind like come back then? Like what I talked to you on Tuesday. What day is it today? Today's Thursday. So Tuesday I talked to you.
So, like, I was having thoughts for a little while, and
Mm-hmm.
then I was just sitting, and then all of a sudden it just felt like I don't know, it felt really intense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have a body.
Mm-hmm.
And then ever since then, I stopped thinking.
Okay. Awesome. Um, does it feel like something kind of rerouted, like created this kind of like got attached to an identity again? Did it
What do
feel
you-
like what like in our one-on-one that like it was like, oh yeah, I'm free, and then coming back to something?
No, it was like when the thoughts were there, it was just like, okay, this is just a voice.
Okay.
It doesn't even sound like it's mine.
Right. Mm. Okay. Um, and is it like creating stories?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's still okay. So there's more work that we need to do. It's not final essentially,
Hmm.
because basically the finale is that doesn't happen anymore. So that's, and this is kind of like it's tricky to kind of pinpoint this. It's with someone. That's why I kind of like ask these kind of questions, because there's kind of like these, I don't want to call them levels, but these occurrences that if it's not like final, then essentially the kind of the ego reroutes itself, then becomes someone again, and does the whole thing again, essentially. And it's so sneaky. It's very sneaky. And like a sign of that is the chatter that comes back, the storytelling, the kind of thoughts. Whereas now you might just be more aware of it. You might be like absolutely aware of it, where essentially that's like the awakening to awareness, where then you're able to simply watch things. Like, does it feel like more you're witnessing?
Yeah.
You're witnessing, like they're arising, you're witnessing them, but like they're still there, like happening,
Hmm.
kind of thing. Okay. Whereas before you felt like you didn't really have that capability to witness.
The witness would come and go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's, yeah, like I said, it's like it's kind of like a spectrum. Like it just continues. Um, and it's just seeing. Sometimes it's what happens is there's like these very deep mental impressions that kind of like reroute, that kind of like they haven't been cleared, they haven't been burned totally or purified totally. So then they kind of come back, and then there's still kind of like things that kind of come up that need to be seen, experienced fully, to then be cleared and released. Because it's kind of like when you're not aware of them, you are that activity, and it's a resisting activity. It doesn't want to see it. It doesn't want to see it. It doesn't want to feel it fully. But a good sign of it is that like now you're feeling like more relaxed, and it's like nothing's really in the way. Nothing really wants to resist that much or at all. So then things kind of start arising, and then you're just seeing them. You're seeing them clearly without any resistance.
Yeah.
What else have you noticed like since Tuesday?
What else? Okay. I need to think for a bit.
Okay.
Um, I haven't been crying for like, it comes and it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't think I can explain it. I'm sorry.
Why is that? No words to describe it, or or your mind's just not here. That can
It's not
that can,
here.
yeah. That's so you'll notice it. I feel like, so as you get kind of, again, this is not accurate saying it because there's no distance to it, but it's like almost like as you get closer, as you're approaching, you'll find that like just kind of being in this energy field around this transmission will just zap your mind. You might notice that crying, just spontaneous crying starts happening, or spontaneous laughter starts happening. Like these type of experiences kind of happen because this, just even being in this energy field, starts purifying, but it brings up a lot of other stuff too. It can bring up a lot of the stuff that we're typically suppressing. But the suppressing is really the activity of the mind. So what happens in like these calls is that it basically dissolves the defense mechanism of the mind. Very similar to how like a drug does, like MDMA or mushrooms, or even like marijuana. Like a lot of these drugs, it's not the drug that's getting you high. Your true nature is the highness. Your true nature is the ultimate drug. But what the drug is doing is it's allowing you to put down your guard. It's putting down the defense mechanism. It's removing the thing that's blocking, which then you're just now, you then, like taking the drug, you're then feeling like, you're like, wow, I'm feeling this love for everything. It's like, I love the walls. I love the plan. I love that's your true nature. It's not the drug that's creating that love. That love is always here. It's just the mind that's blocking it. The mind's creating this defense mechanism. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So essentially, it's like this energy field works like that. It works like that in the sense that it just puts down, like how you experienced on Tuesday. You're like, whoa, we weren't even meditating.
Yeah.
Right. Or like Brody, I think I was talking to him on Tuesday or yesterday, whenever I was talking to Brody. And if I just sit still, his mind's completely gone. And you'll notice that the stronger the connection, that we establish a connection, then it feels like it gets stronger and stronger. Because in a way, you think like you might not believe that I'm transmitting something. You might not, whatever you're thinking, it's just, what am I actually transmitting? It's like, I'm just transmitting myself. But what I am is the real you. So essentially having this connection with me is essentially it's having a connection with what you really are. Because a lot of the mind identification is so strong that you're unable to connect with something that's formless. So you could say like what the universe kind of does is it embodies the form as an apparent guru or master or teacher or whatever you want to think, comes into form. And then that is then the connection in the way that you want to have a connection with another body, with another form. It works out something like that. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense, Rasmus?
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
I meant to ask in the group, Mitch, or sorry if I'm cutting off, but I randomly this week, I haven't had this happen in probably all of our calls, but I was finding like major bids of empathy to a point where it was like drawing deep flashbacks of actually pretty painful memories.
Mm-hmm.
I would like didn't push it down, but it didn't feel like it bothered me. But it came to me. Like it felt like it just like I was playing out a memory, and I wasn't dreaming, and
Yeah.
I was just going about my day, and it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't thought. It was just wow. And I think I looked in the mirror. I think when I went in my car, and my eyes were like glazed. They were definitely like glazed over. Like
Yeah.
I went, and it was about like a childhood memory. Like it was sports related. That's all I could kind of put right now. But
Yeah. So that's what happens. So that's what I was telling you is like, it's essentially, it's like there's these mental impressions that are so deep that need to be purified. So essentially it's like they're deep, deep, deep down, down, down. And it feels like they just simply arise out of nowhere to then be seen by the light of awareness. They arise in this presence that's now, you could say, it's always here, but it just feels like it's new to you. It feels like this presence or this awareness or this light is new to you. Right? So essentially it's there. It comes up to be seen. It comes up to be loved. It comes up then to be healed, because that's the only way to heal it, is with love. And it's like a younger version of yourself. It's like a almost like this inner child that did not get the attention, that did not receive the love, that then it's coming up and it's like it's now begging for attention. It's begging to be accepted. It's begging to be loved, because your entire life you've been ignoring it. So you've not given it attention. I don't want to see you. You haven't looked at it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to go away, go away, go away. I don't have time for you. I'm busy. Come back later. I don't want it. So it feels ignored. It doesn't feel seen. It doesn't feel accepted because you've been rejecting it your entire life. And it definitely doesn't feel loved. And because it doesn't feel loved, it's always wounded. So essentially these things start coming up because they're these old childhood wounds. Sometimes they're wounds out of nowhere. It's like a wound from like a past life. They're just like, you don't even know about it. And they basically come up for all those things, like I said, to be present with it, to see it, to accept it, to love it. And that's what's really inside that needs to be healed. And that's this kind of this transmutation of emotions. And it's this empathy, because you're actually now open. You're opening. You're more open than you were before.
Yeah.
Because that's what empathy really is. It's about opening. As you open, you're more sensitive. So yes, you have empathy for yourself, but now you're starting to feel other people's pain and suffering. People around you, you'll start feeling what they don't want to feel. You'll feel it, but you can't really feel it for them. They have to feel it themselves. So you'll start feeling like this, at times, this heaviness, this density, that you're picking up what other people are carrying. You'll feel all their wounds. And then with more and more clarity, you'll be able to see it. It's like, it doesn't show up as like X-ray vision, but it's like, you'll just be able to, it's indescribable. It's just clarity that you just know. It's like, you can just see it. Like it's in their blind spot. They don't know about it, but you can see it. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to go pointing things out. I'll upload a video about this. I made one there for Brody. We were talking about it. I'll upload it after, maybe tomorrow, because pointing it out doesn't do anything. It'll just start ruining relationships for you. But that's it. Essentially, it's as you're opening, you're more expansive, and as you're expansive and more sensitive, of course, you're feeling what appears to be other people's stuff as well. as well as your own. And this is like the starting of self-compassion. Because it's impossible to be compassionate with someone else if you have no compassion for yourself. And true compassion is actually born out of your own suffering. That you get radically honest with yourself, you stop running from yourself, you stop resisting yourself, and you simply are just present to the suffering that's within you. But if you look around, not just in this group, but if you look around at our world, we're in denial. We deny that we're suffering. We deny that it's even like a thing. We might say, oh, well, that, yes, of course, suffering in that world over there, or that country over there that's being bombed. Of course, that country over there that's starving. But we don't even recognize it in our own life. We think that other people suffer, not I. Like I said, the ego, it's tricky. It's foolishly tricky. Other people die. I don't. It puts on this thing where it's like, oh, they've got problems, but I don't. They've got some trauma, but I don't. Yeah, they should heal some of their childhood wounds. I'm good. I'm clear.
Mm-hmm.
It's the obvious. It's the obvious. Every single person has the blind spot and they can't see. It's literally in front. It's in front of your nose. It's like how everyone in the room will tell you your breath stinks, but you won't even know it stinks. How is that? Your nose is right above your mouth, and yet you don't know your breath stinks. But how does a room full of people know that your breath stinks? It's a blind spot like that. It's like the suffering is too close that you can't even see it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like, compassion is literally to suffer together. That then, because you've actually felt your full suffering totally, that now you actually are feeling other people's suffering, but you're feeling their suffering as your own. That there's actually no barrier. That's kind of like emotions. You're able to feel what other people are feeling. You're like, the saying is, I can empathize with you, meaning you can feel what they're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because you felt that range of emotion fully in yourself. You can empathize with someone feeling extremely ashamed of themselves, because you felt ashamed of yourself at one point, but you felt that shame fully. So therefore you've accepted that shame. And because you've accepted it fully, you felt it fully, which then it was released and you transcended that emotion. One who doesn't accept the shame fully and doesn't feel it fully, they haven't transcended it. So they're constantly resisting. It's like they're pushing it down, but really it's like they're a container full of shame. They carry that shame everywhere they are. And then what's the other one? Empathy. What do people say? Sympathy. Sympathy is in this order. It goes sympathy, empathy, compassion. Sympathy is like you can't feel what someone else is feeling. So that's why these Hallmark cards, these sympathy cards, they kind of go like this. I can only imagine what you're going through. Sympathy is the most superficial. I can't feel what you're going through. I have no idea. I've never experienced that. I can only imagine what you're going through. I don't know what it's like. I have no experience with that. That's what sympathy is. Maybe I'll just think about it. I'll think about how you're feeling. Empathy goes a little deeper. Empathy says, I can empathize with you because I feel what you're feeling. Why? Because you've experienced that feeling. Why? Because you're open. You're more open. Compassion goes to the core. I feel your suffering, not as something separate. I feel your suffering as my own. Therefore, we suffer together. And in that sense, I want to help alleviate that suffering. I want to help free you from your suffering. That's kind of the order. And it goes from like superficial, deeper, deepest. So can you see it's about that experience? No experience, little experience, full experience. So as you're starting to open up, of course, you're feeling more of your own stuff as well as some others. And that's what I was kind of showing you guys. It's all about opening up. The belief in being a separate self is literally, it is a contraction. That's what fear is. Fear is a contraction. Right? Everyone's felt intense fear at some time. And what do you feel? Like everything contracts, tightens. And love it's an expansion. So you said, like with the hand, it's like, that's fear, that's the separate self. And then that's just the reality. That's love. It just contracts it. It's a love is appearing to be something that it's not. This hand is appearing to be a fist. But the fist is an illusion. Because the reality of the fist is actually the hand. It's like love is pretending to be fear. And it pretends to be fear because it closes off to what it actually is. It's closing off. It's closed. It's a contraction. So naturally, this is like, I can only imagine what you're going through. Then it's, I can empathize with you a little bit more. And then now it's opening even more. I'm suffering with you. Fully open. So yeah, so these kind of feelings start coming up. Like both the thoughts and the feelings. And you'll start seeing that you'll start actually getting these vivid images in the mind. It's like the mind kind of replays something from the past. It's like, hey, let's watch some home videos back in whatever, like 1992. Hits play. It might say, well, this one's a real tearjerker. I warned you. Here we go. Let's watch it. And then you're starting to watch it. And yeah, it's emotional. Yeah, your eyes are going to get glazed over. There's going to be some tears. You start feeling kind of this contraction or some of the pain localized in the body. And then there will be, again, maybe some resistance, maybe not. It's not good to have the resistance, but if it happens, it happens. It's about not resisting it. It's about seeing what it is. It's about seeing it, to let that movie play, no judgment, no condemnation, and no running from it, no resisting it, no rejecting it. It's called the do nothing and just watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll start seeing that's how it starts clearing. And you'll notice that comes up when you're relaxed. It's not going to come up when you're, halfway through a meeting, talking to your boss. And all of a sudden you get some flashes of something. It's not going to happen like that. It's going to happen as you relax. Because it's something that you're always actually resisting. Constantly. It's like 24-hour resistance, 24/7 resistance happening. And the moment you stop resisting is the moment that it's like you open the floodgates. Everything that's already within you starts coming up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so draining. That's why people are so tired. This takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to resist what's already within us. And it takes a lot of energy to try and run from what's within us. And you can see trying to hold back a river of emotions and trying to run as fast as you can, as far as you can, away from yourself. Both of those activities require a tremendous amount of effort and energy. Which is why when you stop doing that, that's why you feel like, wow, I've got all this energy. Where did this energy come from? It's just because you're not expending that energy by resisting and trying to escape what is. And that's why when like in these like meditations, or if you're just meditating by yourself and you can just simply be, you're not doing. All of this pushing down is a doing. All of this running is a doing. But then that's why most people can't meditate, is because it takes courage, because all the shit starts coming up to be seen. Most people are afraid to meditate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and in that moment, it felt like you mentioned it before, and I saw it in clear sight of the ego being that it's like a false protection, like it's a protection you've never needed, or it doesn't feel right. But then in that moment, it was like that was one strand, like one gate that was existing, and it was for me it was the you're not good enough kind of perpetuated into everything and anything. And then you're right, like it doesn't have to be that moment. It could just be in your everyday life about something small, and then it's just like that something itching at your neck, like, oh yeah, you're not good enough, you got to do this, like
Yeah.
someone little talking in your ear. But I know I'm past it. Like I have that feeling where it's like I've seen it clear, and it can't, like you said, you can't trick me again. Or I know at least I see it, and it is like it's there. So I
Yeah.
need to
'Cause
figure out
that's how it is. It's
why.
something like that's really deep in the subconscious,
Hmm.
something very deep in your unawareness.
Right.
That's why it's, you say like, as the awareness, it feels like at your, like, from where you are, it feels like this awareness is growing, like it's getting stronger. And as it's getting stronger, it starts illuminating more and more of what's unconscious. So it's like you're starting to see stuff, but what you're seeing has always been there. It's just now you have a light. Now you're able to see it. It's like being in a dark room. If I turn off the lights in my office here, it's like all the stuff is already here in the office. But then like 7 days later, if you start giving me a little candle, I start seeing like, oh, what's that shadow? There's something over there, but I can't really see it because it's only a little candle. But then if I start lighting some more candles, then the light starts seemingly like it's getting brighter and it's illuminating what's actually hiding in the shadows. But whatever it illuminates was actually always there. But as I see it, I was like, whoa, that's new. Who put that there? Well, that was actually there 7 days ago when the lights went off. It's kind of like that. They're there all the time. They're these these events, these memories, these impressions, these feelings, these thoughts, they're there. They're just hiding in the shadows of your psyche. And that's what needs to get exposed. But it's not the easiest because they literally hide in the shadows. That's where it's like, it takes courage to just even be in front of someone like me, because I see them and I just point and I say, well, look at there. And you don't want to look. You want to deny. You want to play a game that, oh, it's not there. I don't want to look. Let's just change the subject. Can't we talk about something else? It doesn't want to see it. But when you see it, that's it. That's it for that pattern. That's where the pattern is rooted. That's where feelings of unworthiness or you're not good enough. It's hard to see it because it shows up in life in totally like in different flavors, wearing different disguises as different branches coming out in different areas of life. But if I just show you where that thing is, where the root is, and I say, let's just uproot that thing right there. That's it. That branch of unworthiness is gone. We just pulled that thing up by the root. It's no more. Sam, do you have any questions? Any updates? Any?
I guess just on a similar topic as James, like I always like let's maybe when we could talk about like limiting beliefs, which is another thing that always here and there it just pops up out of nowhere. And as James said, sometimes I'm not good enough at this, or what's gonna always something that comes up. And maybe you can light some shine on like limiting beliefs and like how, like, is that something that's been there since a childhood and you try to get rid of it now, or like what's the case with that?
Well, what we were actually talking about is that,
right?
Like all beliefs, first off, I'll just kind of clear the floor here. Every belief is a limitation. Every belief is a limited belief. Because a belief is a limitation. So whatever feels like a positive belief or a negative belief, it's still a limitation. Because if you're just honest with yourself, you don't know. A belief, you believe something because you don't know. If you actually knew it directly, to know directly means that you do not believe. Now, everyone's going to have a belief unless they realize the truth. Once you realize the truth, you don't have any beliefs. There's no beliefs. Because a belief is fundamentally made of a lie. It's something that you're just not admitting that you don't know. So you clear these limiting beliefs by actually questioning them. A belief only has power when it's not questioned. Now that's kind of the halfway mark, but it's hard. How could you question a belief if you don't even know that you have that belief? That's where it gets tricky. That's why it helps when you have someone to point these things out. What's called like shadow work. To be around someone that's brighter than you, more aware than you, more conscious than you. Because they can see it, you can't. Someone to just basically point in your blind spots. Because you can't change anything that you're unaware of. So these limiting beliefs are things that you're unaware of. And that's exactly like we were talking with James, is like that belief of being unworthy, the belief of being not good enough. That's a belief. But it's rooted somewhere in this unawareness. And it's typically associated with something that's created a very strong identity in someone's life, some sort of traumatic event. that one then believes and then is so attached to this belief that the belief actually supports who they think they are, who they think they are as the person. So it's a fine line between this belief and identity. That someone holds on to this belief so strongly that it is their identity. That if you believe that Jesus is the Savior, well, that's the belief. And you're going to hold on to that so much, and then you start identifying, I'm a Christian. And the last thing that you want to do is step in front of someone that says, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about the whole Jesus thing? Because now what are we questioning? We're questioning your entire life. As a Christian, as someone who goes to church, as someone who reads the Bible, as someone who's a believer, as someone who's believing that someone else is going to save them. I get you to question your entire reality. And that's why you don't want to come close to me. That's why you don't want to see the beliefs. Because it's kind of like it's like a tapestry. It's like a basket weave. Everything that your whole reality is made of. And I know exactly where to pull to just basically disassemble, deconstruct the entire thing. And we've done it a couple times, and I've told you where to pull, but you don't want to pull it. So now we're just kind of playing this game of talking about limiting beliefs when we all know what the biggest limiting belief is. The belief that you're somebody. The belief that you're some separate person living a life. That you're somehow in control of this thing that you call your life. That you're somebody that has a life. That you're someone who was born. That's the thread that I'm telling you. Let's pull it. That's what I'm getting you to question. But do you want to look? The last guy that looked didn't show up anymore. Do you want to see that there's no self? What happens when you look, when you believe that there's actually something there inside you that feels like it's solid? This is myself. I'm either somewhere behind my eyes, somewhere maybe in the chest. Shit, maybe there's a separate mini me that dresses up exactly like I am right now, just in my head. Maybe he's got like a controller and he's controlling this big body. Maybe he's pulling all of the controls and he's in front of a big computer screen. And that's what I call myself. Where are you? Where exactly are you located? Have you ever experienced this separate you? Have you found it? Or maybe you don't want to look because there's a part of you that knows that there's nothing there. That when you look, you're assuming that you're going to find that mini me somewhere inside me. And all you find is this emptiness. Maybe that's why we're always trying to fulfill ourselves. That unconsciously we know that there's a void. There's this black hole that we're trying to fill it up. More food, more money, bigger home. More. Why is it that I continue to feel this emptiness? Why am I running away from? What is here? So a lot of these beliefs, Sam, are they're like superficial. This belief about money, this belief about worthiness, unworthiness, not good enough. This belief that you gotta work hard to make money. This belief that you have to be good looking to get a good girlfriend or a wife. This belief that the world should be fair. This is going to be a never-ending list of beliefs if we try and address them one by one. And what I'm asking is, who is the one that has all these beliefs? Who is the one that has the belief in unworthiness, that you got to work hard to make money, that you got to be good looking to get a girlfriend? The belief that the world should be fair. The belief that people should not betray you. The belief that your wife or husband or your girlfriend or boyfriend should not cheat on you. Who's the one that has all these beliefs? Because there's so many beliefs. We don't have enough time in this lifetime to go through this massive list of beliefs. But we have time right now to question, who are you, the one that has these beliefs? Because who you are is nothing more than a belief. So, Sam, if you just put away your past, put aside your future. So what I mean is your whole story, it's basically your past. When you talk about your story, if you want to apply to a job, they want to know, what's your history? What's your resume? They're asking, what's your past? Your wife wants to know, what's your ambitions? What's your goals? She's asking, what's your future? And I'm asking, who are you without a past and a future? Take away your past, take away your future. Who are you?
Right. Just like formless. You just
These are just words that I'm giving, but are you not this aliveness, this presence,
yeah.
this emptiness, this formlessness? Is that not what's just present right here if we just sit quiet together?
Right.
What's present? Isn't that you?
Yeah.
That's you. And just simply rest as that. Now, what is here? Has that been born?
No.
What is here? Does that have any sort of limitation?
No.
That which is here, does it have any start or end?
No.
That which is here, does it have a problem?
No.
That which is here, can it suffer?
No.
That which is here, can it die?
No.
And you're 100% certain that this is you that I'm pointing to.
Yeah.
So who is it that has the beliefs?
The identity.
Isn't the identity a belief?
It is.
And this direct experience of you, is this a belief?
No.
How do you know it's not a belief?
I'm here and now experiencing it.
So you're directly experiencing it. And that's how you know it's not a belief.
Yes.
So you're saying this is the truth.
Yeah.
This is the truth of what you are. You know it's the truth because it's you. And you're being it right now.
Yeah.
So if you are the truth, then what is this belief? Is this belief not a lie?
Yeah, it's a lie.
And this truth that you are, it's real, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which means that the belief is unreal. Is it not?
Right.
So what would you like to do? Remain as the truth? Or would you like to become a lie? Would you like to remain as real? Or would you like to become unreal?
I'd like to remain real.
And what are you willing to do to remain as yourself?
Nothing.
What's going to happen to that belief?
I'd like to stay away from that.
It's easy. It's not real. Unless you want it to be real. And if that's the case, then you're going to suffer from that which is unreal. You're going to suffer by living a lie. So you got to love the truth more than the lie. You got to love the real more than the unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's a part of you that still wants the lie, if there's a part of you that still wants the unreal, then this is just a nice glimpse or peekaboo of the real you. And you know you're just BSing yourself. There's a part of you that knows that it's not authentic, it's not genuine. That you're not willing to give up the illusion. Even though you've come to the point where you're seeing the illusion. I'm showing you how the magic trick works. How that separate identity, the belief in being a separate me, is an illusion. It's not real. It's a lie. And you're not believing me. You directly experienced it. You confirmed it for yourself. Did you not?
I did.
And just checking, it's still illusionary, right? It hasn't changed.
Hasn't changed.
It hasn't become real, did it? It's still unreal?
No, it became real.
The separate me,
It's not there.
it's not there. It's not real.
No.
Because you said that you couldn't find any sort of limitation
Right.
to what you are right now, to what you've always been. See that you didn't become this. You've always been this.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you to find a start and an end, and you said, I can't. I asked you if this, you, was born. You said no. But that separate me that I believe to be, that thing, that was born. That's got to start. That's got an end. That's got a whole bunch of limitations, doesn't it?
It does.
Illusionary limitations. They appear to be limitations. But by questioning it, by looking very closely and carefully and examining it, we're actually not finding any limitations. You're actually realizing that you are limitless. Limitless, no limits, which means that it's impossible to be a separate identity, because being a separate identity means that there would be a limitation, creating something that's limited. Correct?
Correct.
And you're sure what you actually are is unborn. This aliveness, this presence, this awareness. Can you remember when this was born? Can you find when this started? Doesn't
No.
it feel like it's always been here?
It does.
Doesn't it feel like it's been constant your entire life?
It does.
It's been unbroken, ever present. And you can't find a start to it. And you haven't found an end to it yet. And you don't have any sort of memory of it ever being born.
I don't.
What makes you think that this is going to die? Can it die? Can anything that's unborn ever die?
No.
So what you're saying is you are immortal. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And because you haven't found a start and because you can't find an end, you're saying that you are eternal.
Right.
And this that's right here, is it missing anything?
No.
Does it need anything?
No.
Isn't there this sense that it's already whole? It's already complete?
Yeah.
And this right here, there's no sense of unworthiness, is there? There's no sense of not enough, is there?
No.
So it's completely full, completely worthy. This that's right here, has it ever been touched? Can it be touched? Can anything touch it? Can anything dirty this? That what I'm talking about?
No.
Not dirty. It's not stained.
No.
Nothing can touch it, right?
Right.
You're confirming this. Don't just believe me. You're confirming it.
I confirm.
So what you're saying, it's pure.
It is.
Mitch, someone's waiting to join.
Yeah, I saw that. Here, I'll let him in. And Sam, are you able to just simply rest as yourself?
Yeah.
And what I'm pointing to, is there anything else that's here? Isn't it just you?
Right.
Is there a sense of happiness? Is there a sense of love?
It is. Yeah.
Is there a sense of peace?
There is.
And is there a sense of freedom?
It is. Yeah.
And if it's only you that's here, because you said there's nothing else, aren't you these qualities?
Right.
Are you not this happiness, this love, this peace, this freedom?
I am.
Are you not this wholeness, this completeness, this fullness? This is you, isn't it?
It is.
It has to be you. Because there's nothing else that's here. So you could say you're directly experiencing yourself. You're directly knowing yourself. Do you have a shape or a size, a gender, a nationality, a race, a religion? Do you have any of these things?
No.
No. Are you male or female?
No. I mean, I am male, but there's nothing beyond that. Yeah.
The real you, though,
Yeah,
is it not genderless?
it is.
And do you see how effortless it is to simply be yourself?
It is, yeah.
I'm not asking you to do anything, am I?
No.
And without any boundary or border or limit, without anything that says, here's where you start and here's where you end, can there actually be any sort of separation? What is it that separates you from what's not you? Are you not the only thing?
Yeah,
It's all you, isn't it?
right.
What
It's
I'm
just
pointing to is just you. That you are the one without a second. That's what I'm pointing to.
right.
And if everything is you, how can there be any separation? You can't find, this is you experientially not finding any sort of boundary or border that says, here's where I start and here's where I end. This is me and this is not me. That you are exploring yourself, looking for this boundary or border. Can you find it? Is there any fear here?
No.
So does the identity of Sam, does that feel like a dream now?
Yeah,
Does it feel like something that you are doing by dreaming, an activity,
it does.
something that you built, something that you created, something that you constructed, something that takes effort?
Right.
Because you're saying that what you actually are is effortless. You're saying that what you actually are is not something that you created. What I'm pointing to, did you create this?
No.
What I'm pointing to, did you imagine this?
No.
So what feels more real? This or the dream of Sam?
This.
And is Sam actually here right now? Is there a person here that's discovering this truth? Is there a person here discovering what is real?
No,
What is it that's discovering?
It's the truth, discovering the truth. It's
you. That you've been this all along, have you not?
I have, yes.
It's not Sam that's discovering the truth. It's you. Sam, the person, isn't here right now. Just sense that freedom that's here right now, the freedom that you are. Just close your eyes. Just sense this perfect peace. Just sense this love. Just sense this happiness. And notice how Sam is not here. Notice how it's just you. You are the happiness. You are the love. You are the peace. You are the freedom. This is you. Notice how there's no person here. There's no one that's Sam with a past and a future, with a story, a shitload of problems, a bunch of different roles and identities. That one is not here. There's this infinite open space. Without limits. Outside of time and space. Completely empty, yet completely full. Isn't this you? Is this not you?
It is.
And you're 100% certain?
Yes.
And what if I say I don't believe you? You must be lying. I don't believe you. What do you say?
No, no, don't believe me.
Because you know it's true. It's undeniable. What if I say bullshit? You're just dreaming. You're just imagining this. What would you say?
And maybe it's a dream I don't want to wake up from.
What are you dreaming?
Not just nothing, nothingness.
Are you experiencing any thoughts and images floating around? Do you see a body somewhere?
No,
Are you floating in clouds? Walking in a garden?
no,
Are you flying around outer space? Talking to aliens?
no.
Are you aware of a mind?
No,
So you must not be imagining this.
I'm not.
Imagination is something the mind does. Thinking is something the mind does. Seeing mental images is something the mind does. You said you're not doing any of that. Are you doing anything?
No,
You're doing nothing. There's just this awareness that you're being. Not being this, not being that. It's unspeakable. It's indescribable. All of my words are just simply pointing to it. Pointing to you. Can you lose it?
no.
How come you can't lose it?
Because it's not a belief.
Mm-hmm. It's you, isn't it?
Yes.
You can't lose it because it's you. See that it's something that you have not attained. You haven't attained this. There's no you in something else. There's no you in something else that you have found. It's just you. It's you realizing what you are. You're not holding on to anything. You can't drop it. You can't lose it. There's no you and anything else. It's you and you alone. Feels like you can stay here forever, doesn't it?
It does.
Where are you? Isn't it right here?
Yeah.
See that where you are is no distance. From you. You haven't gone anywhere. See that where you are takes no time to get to this mystical place that you're at. It's not some mystical place in a faraway land. See that it's closer than your breath. Zero distance, zero time. What you are has no time, has no space, beyond space and time. What you are has no location. There's no left, there's no right, there's no up, there's no down. See that what you are is not coming and going. It's not appearing and disappearing. It's ever present. Which means that it's always here, now. And if you're always here now, and this is the only possibility, then there's nowhere to go. And then slowly just open up your eyes and just come on back from wherever the hell you are. You came back pretty fast. Where were you, on the other side of the universe? I didn't see you get into a rocket ship. Did you come back? When I said open your eyes and come on back, did you come back? No, because you never left. Like I said, what you are is ever present. Can you still confirm what you are here now with your eyes open, looking at me? Didn't feel like you lost it, did it? Just because you opened your eyes, did you lose it? Which means you can't lose this happiness, this love, this peace, this freedom. You can't lose this wholeness, this completeness, this fullness. You can't lose this rest, this relaxation. You can't lose any of it because you confirmed it's you. And you also confirmed that you are ever present here now. Can you confirm again that everything that I'm saying is true and you're confirming it experientially, directly, by yourself, experiencing yourself?
Yes.
You feel like you've had enough proof? You don't want me to give you any more proof, do you? Or are you satisfied? Let me know. Are you satisfied?
I don't know. Is there any limits?
Did you find any?
No.
I'm going by your word. You just explored.
Mm-hmm. I didn't find any limits.
You didn't find. I didn't either. Are you happy with this discovery?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with this discovery?
Yes.
Is there anything else that you want to discover?
No.
Do you have any questions about anything that you just discovered?
No.
All right, we're done here. Anybody else have any questions? Brody, Rasman,
Nope,
James? No?
nothing.
Was that helpful for you listening, or hopefully you're exploring at the same time?
Yeah.
Was anybody else experiencing the same thing that I was pointing to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you guys confirm as well?
Yes.
Sam, you're not crazy. Unless there's 5 crazy people, maybe 6 right here. But I don't know. Rasman, do you have any questions?
No, there's this boost of energy, and yeah, it's really relaxing.
Mm-hmm. Brody, do you have any questions?
No, but it's the same thing as Rasmus said. It's like a boost of energy, but it's relaxing.
Mm-hmm. Very relaxed but alert.
Yes.
It's like drinking like 10 Red Bulls, but without the jitters.
Yeah.
Like a natural high. You're getting high on your own supply. It feels good, doesn't it? That's the real you. The real you naturally feels good. So if you guys are satisfied, enjoyed this trip to nowhere, then we can end it right now. Unless you guys want to hear me talk for no reason. We're good? Or are you afraid that when I hit the end, the red button down there in the right corner, this is all going to go away? Give me back my high. Give me back my supply. I want to feel like this forever. I always notice that at the end of the calls, there's this kind of feeling of reluctance. Don't do it. Don't press that end button.
Makes me want to continue to go deeper and stay at home, like you said.
And what? Stay at home.
Not physically,
Oh yeah.
but rest as existence. I like to try out different words for it now. I like just
Every
being
name you
ever-present.
give it is going to be wrong.
It all sounds the same and it all sounds wrong. Yeah.
You can call it
Right.
bippity bop. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So you have this feeling when I press the red button, you get ejected from your home. Is that what that button is? It says end. It's red on my side. On your side, does it look like the eject button? It's not going to eject you out of existence, is it? But this is good. This is good. I think. Well, Sam, you tell me. Is it more clear?
It is. It is. I think the one thing that really hit home is, I know we talked about beliefs before, but for me, beliefs was always like I was very narrow-minded. I was used to thinking, okay, religious beliefs or this kind of beliefs, but the fact that your whole existence itself is also another belief pattern that
Sure.
mind is just, you believe that this is what you are, so you believe in a false reality.
Yeah.
Everything perpetuates, so it becomes false reality, then you continue living in that false reality.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you're believing so much.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting you to question it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think everything's outside of you. Your computer, your desk, me talking. That's what you believe. I know the truth. It's not outside you. How could it be outside you? You just directly experienced for yourself that there was no limitation. You couldn't find a border. You couldn't find a boundary. And without a border or boundary, how can you possibly say something's inner and outer? You're not believing me. You just explored for yourself.
Right.
Look how quickly you forgot.
No. Makes sense.
Right?
I never looked at it from that angle.
Yeah. Because I'm taking you deep within yourself. First, you see it there. Then you start seeing it here, what appears to be here.
Right.
What you experienced was nothing but yourself. Yet you see your wife as your wife, you see me as Mitch, you see your plant as a plant, your walls as your walls. And you quickly believe this is me and that's not me. But your experience says it's only you.
Mm-hmm.
Your direct experience, you confirmed that there was nothing other than yourself.
Right.
So everything that you're experiencing is you. How could it change? You said it was real.
Right.
You said it was true. The truth can't change. It can't be true just 5 minutes ago and then now it's not true. But do you see how it's those beliefs that, like you're saying, yeah, because they create your whole reality, your whole sense of here's a me and there's a everything else. But that's the belief that there must be some limitation, that this is a separate me. Without any limitations, how could you possibly create a separate me? So limitless is the reality. The reality that's you. Believing in being a separate me is the illusion. And you're starting to see through that illusion. But there's something that kind of is resurrected, like the mind, and says, I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not buying it. So there's this kind of doubt. I don't know. That looks a lot like a wall. It doesn't look like me. It looks a lot like a wall. So the mind's doubting this. But you know for yourself, was the mind even there when this discovery was made? You said it for yourself. I asked you if there was any awareness of a mind. You said no. I said, are you thinking? You said no. I said, are you creating images? You said no. You said there was nothing else that was there except for you. It was you and only you. Yet when you open your eyes, this friend of yours comes climbing out of the gutter, and he says, don't believe that Mitch guy. And I'm saying, I didn't even ask you to believe me. I've got no beliefs to sell you. I didn't once ask you to believe me. But you see how quickly it comes in and tries that manipulation,
Coaxing.
that lying,
Mhm.
being so sly and clever, sneaky. You see what it does? Don't believe that guy. Diverts you, diverts your attention to something else, to take off the attention onto it. Wait, you're the one that's creating all these beliefs, Mr. Mind. You just saw through all those beliefs all at once. You confirmed them for yourself. You confirmed no limits, no boundaries, no borders, no separation, no start, no end, was not born, cannot die, timeless, spaceless, no location. You confirmed all of that. And all of a sudden you just open up your eyes and your friend comes back, and now you're believing your friend. You see how it happens like that? Is what I'm saying accurate, Sam?
No, I was mainly referring to the fact that, it opened up my eyes in the sense that that whole belief perception was like, it makes so much more sense now that my entire reality was just a belief. Is that I never looked at it from that angle.
Mm-hmm.
I always looked at it from an angle of a believing in some sort of what your parents teach you, but I never looked at it. It shifted my mind a bit. Now it's like, wait a second. your everyday life, whatever you do, you're believing in whatever you're doing. So that creates another belief that I'm holding on to, and that sort of like it opened up. I'm like, oh shit, okay, like that's like I don't believe in that anymore. Like I don't believe in the fact that I'm running around this realtor crazy guy, like doing all these things. I don't believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
Because
just
all those beliefs were stacked on the big belief, the
and
belief
I
in
don't know
being
what the big,
the belief
what's
in
the
being a separate me.
separate me exactly. So I don't know where the biggest belief for me lies, and if it's rooted in like religion or like things that have been passed down to me, and I've been carrying all these beliefs from everyone, and it's piling up, and I'm like, okay, like
But who's the one that's carrying him?
that's what I just found out. I'm like, I'm just scared.
That's what we went right to. That's what I said. Forget about those other beliefs. We go to we're going right to the root. You want to like prune the tree branches.
Right.
And I'm saying that I don't have time for that. I say,
Right.
let's just uproot this sucker right now.
Yeah. You're right. Who's
right?
who's the me that's believing in all this stuff? Yeah.
Because then even when you kind of open your eyes and you come back, you're like, oh yeah, thanks. You really opened up my eyes. I can now see the belief in religion. I can see the belief in a job. I can see the belief in the girlfriend. I can see the belief in money, the belief in politics, the belief in culture. And that one right there is not recognizing that that's the belief right there. The one that's doing all this kind of divert. You look at all these other beliefs, but don't look at me. It's like this. It's like it's hiding. Look over there, but not at me. And I'm saying this is the fraud that we just exposed.
Right. I agree.
Who you think you are is the biggest fraud.
It's
an imposter.
Yeah.
It's all pretend. It's pretending to be the separate me. And we just saw through it.
Right.
But that's how it's so sneaky. It like I said, you open up your eyes, it's like he's like, I'm back. I'm waiting. He's like waiting for like, he's got snacks and stuff ready for you. Puts his arm around you. This is the mind that we're talking. Puts you, come on over here. You had a long journey. Tell me about it. And starts hypnotizing you again. Yeah, here's what we got to do. We got to make a bigger goal next time. Stay away from that Mitch guy because you're not going to be ambitious anymore if you keep on hanging around with him. You won't have any goals. You're supposed to be getting married soon. Don't hang around that Mitch guy. He'll end your marriage before it starts. And I'm saying who? Who's getting married? But it's good. I like to play around with you. But let's I don't want to keep you guys here all night. I know you guys don't want me to hit this eject button, but
that was good.
we will.